Who am I? What am I? What is human consciousness? What is our true identity? And how can we reconnect with our true or higher self? Let us explore this first. Who am I? What am I? What is human consciousness? What is our true identity? And how can we reconnect with our true or higher self? Let us explore this first.
When we look into the mirror, we see our face simply reflecting back to us. Our mirror reflection shows us only the outside. Like what we see in life, it's not necessarily the whole truth. To understand ourselves fully, we need to look within. Spirituality makes us aware of two parts of ourselves. One is our body, and the other, subtle and invisible part, is our being. Our body is visible and obvious, but our being is an incognito power, a soul, invisible to the eye and little understood. Rajayoga defines it as a tiny luminous energy point, It's the animating force of life that moves our bodies. Most human problems exist because we forget our inner selves. We just stay in the outer world of reflections and insubstantial mirages. When we are aware of our spiritual identity, it changes our perception and we see things and people differently. When we see the soul, we are blind to the vision of caste, culture, language, or nationality. We don't see Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Chinese, European, or African. We see only spiritual beings, brothers and sisters of the human family. We enter into the quiet peace and clarity of Rajayoga, and meditation shows us the truth of this, and it changes everything. To have seen the beauty and power of the soul awakens all the qualities and virtues. The colors of the self come alive. Peace, love, happiness, and the feeling of fortune flow into our consciousness. They are no longer beyond our reach, but the tangible and real nature of each of us. Throughout the day, take moments to remember and feel again what it's like simply just to be a pure and peaceful soul.
Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of our 7 days Raj Yoga meditation course. This course has been organized by the Brahma Kumaris Viliparle subzone, and over the next few days, we'll be exploring themes like understanding the self, how to manage our thoughts, inner power, inner peace, art of positive thinking, and meditation techniques. This video that you just saw is a recap of what we did yesterday when we journeyed through Who Am I, the soul. So, if you have any questions for yesterday's session or the upcoming session that we're going to have today, please write down your questions on the chat box and we'll answer them at the end of the session. Please keep your video and mics on mute so that we can have a webinar without any disturbance. These 7 days are a commitment, so I request you all to be regular and on time, otherwise you'll miss the recap video that we'll play in the beginning. All these 7-day sessions are interlinked and in sequence, so please try not to miss any so that you don't lose the connect between 1 and 2 lessons. Every day we will start the session with a short meditation, followed by a brief recap of the previous lesson. We will have a Q&A round at the end of the webinar. We will begin at 5 p.m. sharp, so please try to be on time. And we'll try to end by 6, but we might go a few minutes over because we want to answer all your questions. All the sessions are streamed live on Facebook, so you can head on to our Facebook page and find the recordings of the sessions there in case you've missed anything. So let's begin with a short meditation, and then we'll begin our session for the day. I request you all to sit comfortably. Sitting comfortably, I begin to withdraw my attention from the outer world, the world of my senses, and gently focus my attention within. I can create thoughts of peace. I am a peaceful being. And peaceful feelings follow. I become immersed in a feeling of peace, and my thoughts gradually slow down. My mind begins to become quiet. The quiet feeling in my mind grows. I become more aware of the silence that lies behind all the usual chatter of my thoughts. In this silence, I begin to experience a deep sense of peace. Peaceful thoughts arise. As I focus on my inner self, I begin to feel very relaxed and light. I'm just flowing peaceful energy. I am very still, floating away, like a tiny star in a sea of peace. Waves of peace wash over me and through me. This feeling leads me to a very peaceful place. This place is like a beautiful silent room where I can just slow down, be myself, and be free. This is a very special room because it has no walls, ceiling, or floor. It is just light and peace. Slowly, I return, just like a feather floating gently to the ground. You can open your eyes if you have closed them. And we will now be refreshed and ready to listen to our day 2 session. And with this, I welcome Sister Harsha to take us through day 2 of our session. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. And again, a warm welcome to everybody for this day 2 session of Rajayoga meditation course. Oshaben, thank you so much for such a beautiful commentary, which has made us so peaceful and connected with ourselves. Yesterday, we learned a very important chapter, which was Who Am I? Before we begin the second chapter, let's do a quick revision of what we learned yesterday. Yesterday, we learned that we are a soul, we are a point of light, energy, and we are not this body. I own this body. I have this body. I'm using this body, but this body is not me. This is how I look. This is my image. I'm simply a point of light, radiating light throughout. This is my identity. Yesterday, we also learned that our core values, our core qualities, to name a few, it's power. If you feel like in your mind, please repeat these values after me. My core values is power, is purity, is happiness, is love, it's peace, it's knowledge and bliss. I'm made up of this. These are my innate qualities. Internally, I'm filled with this. Originally, my true religion, which is religion of the soul, is love, is peace, is happiness. Then my three subtle faculties, intellect and the sanskars. These are my three subtle faculties, my inner abilities. In a mobile, if you do not have a SIM card, then the mobile do not operate. Similarly, in this body, I, the soul, am like a SIM. How do we spell a SIM? It's SIM. Similarly, here also, S stands for sanskars, I stands for intellect, and M stands for mind. So this is that internal SIM, internal system through which I do so many things. Yesterday we learned mind is all about thinking. It creates thoughts. The way in an ocean there are continuous waves, similarly in our mind there are continuous thoughts. Yesterday we learned a variety of thoughts that we create. There are four majorly: positive ones, negative thoughts, and third, waste thoughts. And then we have the ordinary thoughts. Throughout the day, we fluctuate in this four, but now spirituality is a journey to shift from too much ordinary, negative, and waste to positive thoughts. We have the intellect, which is my ability to decide, which is my ability to understand, to analyze what is right, what is wrong, my sensible faculty, the intellect. And then we have the sanskars. In simple language, we call it the habits. And these habits, which are so many, are stored in the sanskars, in the soul. It's also like a memory bank, which is always there, the internal world. Many times we try to bring about changes in our sanskars, in our habits. Every new year we have a resolution and we try to do so much. Like, for example, I won't be angry. I want to get up early. I want to do this. I want to do that. We have so many resolutions. We have such a big to-do list. But many times we observe that initially we get started by doing that. But gradually, these resolutions do not live long. Why does it happen? And the reason behind this is We are trying to bring about changes in our sanskars, which is the end product, which is the action. Bringing about a change in the end product is not easy. The easiest way is if I can bring about changes at the beginning level, at the initial level, which is in my mind, which is in my thoughts, then if my thoughts change, my words will change, and automatically my actions will change. So the need of the hour is to work at the grassroots level, which is to work on my consciousness, which is to work on my thoughts. And this is what God teaches us. There's so much. People will teach me how to manage machines, how to operate them. People will teach me how to manage money. People will teach me how to manage other men. But no education teaches me how to manage my mind, how to manage myself. And this is something that God teaches, and that is what we are here to learn. Now, we'll be beginning with a very, very important chapter. After we understand ourselves, it's very important to know God. Do you think this question is important to you? Do you think that you want to know Him? Do you think do I really want to know God? Then this is for me today. God is such an integral part of our life, especially in Bharat or everywhere. We have been singing praises of God. We have been singing Tvameva Mata Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhu Sakha Tvameva. Since childhood, we have been listening. We remember God. We say this to Him, that you're my father, you're my mother, you're my friend, you're my teacher, you're everything to me. I have all my relationships with you, and that too permanent one. We have been singing that He's my family. But today the question is, do I actually know Him? I have heard so much about God. People speak so much about God. There's so much written about Him. Today there's a saying, as many people, so many versions, so many talks about God. Now, among these many interpretations, so much of information, we kind of have got lost. We don't know who God is actually. In Bharat, they say there are 33 crore Devi Devtai, deities. Now, 33 crore is a big number. There's so much of confusion when we say Sabka Malik Ek Hai, which means when God is one, then why so many numbers? 33 crore is huge. This creates so much of confusion. If He is one, then who is He? Often know that they have parents, they have a father, they have a mother, but who they are, I don't know. How do they look? I don't know. What do they do? Their occupation? Oh, I don't know. Where do they stay? I don't know. What's their name? I don't know. Who they are, they don't know. So similarly, we also today, we know there's some God, there's some power, there's some energy out there. But who he exactly is, I do not know. But I should be knowing that if he's my father, if not me, then who else? In this world, there are so many countries, every country having its own culture, its own languages, its own religion, its own peculiarities. In spite of so many differences in everything, but there's one thing which binds all of us together, which is a belief in God. This is one thing which connects God, an integral part of our life, and it's high time that now we know Him. In Bharat and also the world, we have constructed so many temples. There are n number. There are so many churches, mosques, places of worship that have been constructed in remembrance of the one supreme. There's so much of devotion, morning, evening, whenever possible, devotion that people have been doing in the name of God. There are so many wars, there are so many battles which have been fought on the name of religion. There are so many pilgrimage places in the name of God. Especially in Bharat, you go to east, north, west, south, anywhere, all the major tourist places are temples. These are our ancient temples, something which is a heritage today, something that we all are proud of. In the name of God, we do so much. And today, we are here to know Him, that who exactly He is. God, the way body's father is bodily, thus the saying, as is the Father, so is the Son. We both look similar. Sometimes we go somewhere and we see some child, we immediately say, oh, you are his child? Because they look similar, and that's how we guess, that's how we understand, oh, you are his son. Because the Father and the Son look similar. So when I believe that I'm a soul, I hope there's no doubt about this, that we are a soul. When I strongly believe now that I'm a point of light, then my Father, which is the Father of the soul, is again a point of light only. He cannot be anything else. He's also an energy, the way I am. The way I am a point of light, he is also a point of light. He's a soul. He's called the Supreme Soul. We both look similar, not just in look, in size also we are similar. It's not that he's the Supreme Soul, so he might be bigger in size. No, it's standard. We all are of the same size. We all are stars, living conscious energies. It's called the Supreme Soul. Why do we add this prefix supreme in front of the soul? We call him Param Atma. I'm simply a Atma. He is Param Atma. Then why this Param? Why is he called the Supreme? We both look similar, in size also similar, in every manner we are similar. Then what's the difference between both of us? Why is he called God? There's some difference. One major difference is that he is constant. To take an example to understand this, it's like an ocean. And from this ocean, so many rivers arise. Every river, when it passed from the ocean, these rivers are so much full. Many times in the beginning, these rivers seem just like the ocean only. They are full, abundant. Then these rivers have a journey. There are so many rivers who cross so many states, some even cross so many countries. It has got its own journey. End of the journey, many times it so happens that these rivers become thin and ultimately many dry up. That's a difference. Similarly, just like the rivers, when we souls, when we come down on this earth, on this stage in the beginning, when there was golden age, when there was Satyug, in the beginning, long, long ago, once upon a time, we were also full. We were also abundant, complete. We were knowledgeful. We were peaceful. We were powerful. We were blissful. Then we, the souls, come into this journey, into this cycle of birth and death. Coming into this cycle, changing so many costumes. And we also now, at the end of this journey, which is Kali Yuga, the Iron Age, there are so many souls, almost everyone, who have dried up. Today, there's no peace, no love, no happiness. Even if it is, it's limited and it's conditional, which is dependent on external things. We souls fluctuate, kabhi khushi, kabhi gum, sometimes happy, sometimes sad, sometimes angry, sometimes there's fear, sometimes anxiety. We fluctuate, but in God there is no fluctuation. He's always constant, He's always full, because He's the ocean. He's the ocean of love, He's the ocean of peace, He's the ocean of powers, He's the ocean of bliss. Somebody who never dries, who's always full. Another major difference, rivers have their own journey, but it's the ocean who's always at one place. Similarly, we souls come into this journey of birth and death, but it's only God, the Supreme Soul, who's an exception to this cycle, who's always beyond this cycle. He never takes a body, he's always a point of light. We call him God Father, we call him Param Pita. Why do we call him God Father? In what sense is he my Father, my Creator? We know this first law of physics, which states that energy cannot be created, nor it can be destroyed. When I, the soul, cannot be created, I am forever, I'm always there, I was, I am, and I will always be. When nobody can create me because I am eternal and forever, then in what sense is God my creator, my father? It's something like this, that when the rivers dry up, it's again in the end that these rivers meet the ocean in the form of rain. Again, the ocean fills up, refills these rivers. It's a cycle from full to empty, and then again from empty to full. Similarly, we, the souls, it's in the end when God Himself, He comes on the stage. The principal actor of this drama, God, He comes on the stage and He comes to refill, to refresh, to recharge, to rejuvenate, to recycle all of us. Thus, He's got this title, Bigdi Ko Banane Wala, which is the one who heals, who recreates, and that's why we call Him Godfather, our Creator. He doesn't create us, but yes, He recreates us back to the original. That's the reason we call Him Parampita, Godfather. What is His name? There are so many titles that we have given to Him, but what is His name? One name. Because there's nothing in this world without a name, without a form. Now we know His form, that He is also a point of light. What's His name then? His name is Shiv. And Shiv simply means a point. Whenever we write a sentence, in the end, we apply a full stop. And a full stop, a point, which simply means an end for a new beginning. Shiv means a point of light. Shiv means Kalyankari, the one who benefits, the one who loves, the one who heals, the one who protects. We all in Brahma Kumaris, we all lovingly call Him Shiv Baba. At a home, a father and a mother, we never ever call them by the titles, by the positions, by the name they hold. We never call them Mr. So and so, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. President. We address each other by the relationship that we have. And that relationship seems so personal. We call them mother, father, mummy, papa, didi, dada, ai, baba. Baba simply means here, father. God, Bhagwan. It all sounds so official. It's a title that we have given to Him. But when we say Baba, Baba simply means my father, somebody to whom I belong, who is my father. Now, this relationship seems so close, unofficial, such a personal and a beautiful one. In Brahma Kumaris, when we say Baba, we don't mean any human being. We simply remember Shiv Baba, that point of light. Then we call him Baba, we call him Daddy, we call him Papa, we call him Father, doesn't matter. No matter whatever we call him, he'll always mean the same to us. And that's the saying, what's in a name? Whatever I want to call him, I can call him. And this drama on the stage, there have been variety of characters. This drama is a variety. There have been Punya Atmai, which is the ones who do a lot of good activities, do a lot of charity, good things. And then there are so many Punya Atmai in this world. Above this Punya Atmai, we have Mahatmai. Mahatmai means those who have done elevated action. Like in Bharat, we have Mahatma Gandhi, we have Mother Teresa, Ambedkar, we have so many. I guess this way every country might be having their own set of Mahatmai. Above this Mahatmai, there are Dharmatmai, which is the divine fathers. The divine fathers who became instrument in establishing a religion. Every religion has got its own divine father. And then again, there are so many of them. Beyond Dharmatmai, then there are Devi Devtai, and again there are so many. We say 33 crore, that's a big number. But beyond Devi Devtai, there is Paramatma. We never say Paramatmai. It's not plural, it's singular. God is one. So now this journey is to know the ultimate one. It's to connect to him directly, who's my Father. When we say God is universal, which means he belongs to all of us, how do I understand now that this point of light, Shiv Baba, is God? Because throughout our life, we had heard so much. There are so many stories. There are so many things written about God. We had so many pictures in my mind of Devi Devtai, of so many things. Now, how do I believe that this point of light can be God? Just because somebody is saying, we should not be believing it. We should be checking. Because when we go to buy something, a coconut also, before buying, first thing that we do is we check, is it good or not? And then we buy it. When we go to buy a refill for a pen, we again check, is it working or not? So today, when we are sharing this idea that God is a point of light, Shiv Baba, a pure energy, then again, I should not be taking it this way. I should be checking that how this can be God, what possibility, what probability that this is God. Now we'll understand this. When we say God is universal, which means he belongs to all of us, be it Hindus, be it Muslims, be it Christians, be it anyone, he belongs to all of us. If we go to see, then Muslims won't believe in Krishna. Christians won't believe in Allah because we all have our own different gods. But here now we'll understand how indirectly or directly everybody believes in that point of light, knowingly or unknowingly. In any temple or any place of worship, the moment it's evening, it's maybe 6 o'clock or something like that, we immediately put up a diya, a candle. We immediately light a diya. There's never darkness. Whenever we light that flame, that diya, what's the shape of the flame? It's something like this, a oval shape, broader at the end, and it winds up towards the point above. Thus, in bhakti, in devotion, we created a remembrance, an idol, a physical idol for him in the form of Shivling. Here we have Amarnath. We'll understand how this point of light is accepted by everybody. Amarnath, the Shivling, which is created in remembrance of that point of light, a physical object. We created a physical object, a material idol, because we wanted to offer our devotion. And when we started thinking that we are this body, we are physical, so we made him also physical because we wanted to offer our devotion. Thus, we created the Shivling, Amarnath, a very, very important pilgrimage place in Bharat, in India. We see so many temples of Shiva. In earlier days, they were on mountains. People would climb mountains, they would reach on top of the mountains, and then there was a cage. People would enter that cage below. And then on the floor, there will be Shivling. We see so many temples also in Bharat of Shiv Baba. All the deities placed on a platform at an elevated position, but it's only Shivling which is placed on the ground. Why? It simply means the way he is elevated above everybody, he's the supreme. In spite of being the supreme, he's down to earth. He has got no ego. He's our father. In front of every deity, there might be a partition, but it's only Shivling in front of where for hours we can touch it, we can do whatever that we want because we feel so much connected to him. Here we have Amarnath, and Amarnath simply means, Nath means the Lord, the Master, and thus Amarnath means the Lord of the immortal. Soul is immortal, the father of we all souls, and thus Amarnath. Here we have Rameshwaram. It's an ancient story that we have been listening since ages. Ramayana, and in this story we have heard that Ram kind of knew that Ravan is very powerful and I want to win, I want to fight with him, then I also need powers. So what he did is, besides an ocean, he created a shivling of sand and he started worshipping that. It's in the end that he gets power from Shiv, and with those powers, he goes and fights with Ravan. Ultimately, he wins. Now, today, if we analyze the story a little bit, if we want something, we many a times we go to Hanumanji, we go to his temple. Hanumanji, we see he goes to Ram, and Ram, if he wants something, he goes to Shiv, that point of light. So now the point is, if I also want something, why don't I also directly go to that supreme power, to Shiv Baba, who's my father? It's high time now, instead of via, we have a direct connection with him. And that's the reason They say Rameshwaram, which means Ram ka bhi Ishwar. There's somebody beyond Ram. So let's connect to him now. Then we have throughout his life so beautifully always taught that God is light, God is love. Christ, his last words when he was put up on that cross, so beautifully he said, "Oh Father, please forgive them. They do not know what they are doing." Christ remembered his Father. In Bible, many a times it's written, Son of God, Son of God. Christ never ever said that I am God. If we see in this picture his fingers pointing out upwards, which means he is remembering him, he's pointing out towards him. He never said I, he always referred to him. Thus, it's high time. Here we have Moses. It's a good, old, beautiful story that many of us know. That Moses again had divine vision of that supreme power, of that point of light when he went on top of that mountain. And it's through this divine light that he got 10 commandments, which many even today believe. It's again that point of light, that supreme energy. Here we have Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak Ji very beautifully spoke about him. Again, here we see his finger pointing out upwards. Guru Nanak Ji said, Ek Omkar, which means he is one. Om means Atma, is a soul, supreme soul. Satnam, which means God is truth. Akal Murat, which means he never dies, but simply means, it also means that he never takes a body, the one who never takes a body, the one who has got no birth, he never dies. He's always this point of light, the supreme power. Here we have Allah. Muslims believe in Allah. They do not do any idol worshipping. They do not believe in any physical thing. They call him Noor-e Ilahi. And Noor simply means light. Noor simply means the twinkle, that energy. When they go to Hajj, in Hajj there's this black stone, which they call Sange Aswad, which is again in remembrance of that supreme energy. And people go and try to touch this black stone, which is again in remembrance of Shiv Baba, the point of light. Here we have Somnath, which is the first temple of this world. Today there are so many, but we might have begun with the first one now. It was Somnath which was constructed by Raja Vikramaditya long, long ago. The first temple again was of Shiv Baba. If we see this Shivling, like a diya, below we have this base, and then the Shivling, which is like a flame. God is light. God is love. This chapter shows that indirectly, directly, knowingly, unknowingly, be it Hindus, be it Muslims, be it Christians, be it anybody, we have only one Father, and which is the supreme energy. whom we lovingly call Shiv Baba. Let's take this example here. Remember the story of childhood? There were four blind people since birth, and they wanted to see an elephant. So somebody took them, but since they cannot see, they touched the elephant and they came back happily. So the one who took them asked, "How was the elephant?" So very happily they all narrated their own stories, their own interpretations. Somebody who touched the leg of the elephant, he said, "Oh, that elephant was like a pillar." Somebody who touched a flat wall. Somebody who touched the trunk, he said, "Oh, he was like a tree trunk." Somebody who touched the tail, they said, "Oh, he was like a rope, so thin." They all had their own stories, they all had their own interpretations. Now the question is, were they wrong? Actually, no. They were not wrong. They narrated what they felt, what they could experience, reality. Similarly, they were not wrong, but nobody was 100% correct. Similarly, there have been so many divine fathers, Dharmatmai. They all spoke about that supreme energy. Sai Baba very beautifully said, Sabka Malik Ek Hai, is one. Guru Nanak Ji said, Ek Omkar Satnam. Christ said, God is light, God is love. Somebody spoke about him 10%, somebody 15%, somebody 25%. What they experienced, what they felt about God, they all spoke about him throughout their life. These divine fathers also, throughout their life, tried to connect everybody upwards. Nobody was wrong. What they spoke, that was absolutely perfect, absolutely beautiful. But again, as the saying goes, nobody was wrong, but nobody was 100% correct. Thus, we have the saying that incomplete information is dangerous. Because then, what we have been trying for these many years, we have tried to fill in the blanks. As many people, thus today we have so many talks about God. It's today that we understand that He's our Father, Shiv Baba. Now let's for a few minutes meditate on this thought. We'll share a few thoughts in case possible. Try to feel this today. Try to visualize this. I'm a soul, a point of light, a sparkling star. In front of me, I see another star. I see that supreme energy. who's just like me. The ocean of love, the ocean of peace. My Father, I have done so much for him during every problem. It's an old relationship that I share with him. I never thought that we would meet this way. It seems that I was lost, and finally today, it's he who found me. Coming face to face, I'm feeling so happy. Finally, you found me. Now, in your company, I feel myself to be so safe, to be so connected to you. Baba, my Father, thank you so much. Shiv and Shankar, we always thought, because we were always taught that they are one and the same. But Shiv Baba, he has taught us that no, they are different. Now, the important question is how then? Because we were always taught that they are one and the same. In 99% temples, we always see Shivling. Shivling is the one that is always worshipped. It's somewhere that we see Shankarji's statue. And majority of his pictures, statues, are in this position, always meditating. He's called Devon Ke Dev Mahadev, which means he's the ultimate Devta, beyond everybody. And he's always shown in this meditative posture, eyes half closed, half open, as if he is meditating somewhere. Now the question is, why is he meditating? Why is he doing tapasya? Tapasya, any effort, is always for some attainment, for some prapti. And prapti is from someone who's above you. In meditation, there are two parties required. One is the meditator Where is he concentrating his mind? On whom? Whom is he remembering? It simply means there is somebody above him, because God will never do tapasya. God will never put in all this efforts because he's always complete. He doesn't want anything. He is one way. He's the ocean. He only gives. And thus, we don't say believe what we say, but right now just keep an open mind and think about it. God is not omnipresent. It's an age-old belief that we have been taught that God is everywhere. He is into everything. He is inside us. He is in the statues, in these idols. He is in every corner. But this is what Shiv Baba has always taught us, that he is not everywhere, in every corner. There is atom everywhere, but there is no Atma everywhere. If I, the soul, Atma, if I cannot be everywhere at one time, I can be at one place only, then how come that Supreme Soul can be everywhere at a time? No. He can go everywhere, but he cannot be everywhere. This is a misconception which we have cultivated. Imagine if he would have been everywhere, that ocean of peace, that ocean of love, then what this world would have been. The ocean of peace everywhere. It would have been a different world. He's not omnipresent. Where is our home? A very important question. When we say this is a stage and we are here actors wearing this costume and playing so many roles, if this is a stage, then where is our home? From where have we come down on this earth to play a part? Where do we belong to? On Shivling, we always apply 3 lines. Why not 2? Why not 4? Why not 1? But why specifically 3 only? Bel Patra, 3 leaves which are offered on Shiva. Why 3 only? Why not 2? Why not 4? We also have Trishul. Why 3 only specifically? This simply symbolizes, this 3 means that God is Trikaldarshi, which means he knows all the 3 tenses, which is the past tense, the future, and the present. Is the director of this whole drama. He knows the whole script, the beginning, the interval, and the climax. He is knowledgeful and everything. He is Trikaldarshi. He is also called Trilokinath, which means master of the 3 worlds. Now, which 3 worlds? We'll be knowing that right now. Those 3 worlds are, we can see in this picture. Below, it's the corporeal world, which is the physical world, material world, the stage. Now, above this corporeal world, there is the subtle world, which is white in color. Now, beyond the subtle world, on the top, there is the soul world. Whenever we think of God, we always look above, which means he stays somewhere above. Now, this is that world, the soul world, where he stays. From the soul world, which is my home sweet home where my father stays. His home is by default my home. From this home, the souls come down on the stage. We wear a costume, and we have been playing so many roles, changing costumes and performing since such a long time now. In this corporal world, there's sound, there's so much of activity. I, the soul, am wearing this costume. Now, inside, we all have a body of light. This body of light, this body which is made up of light, it is called the astral body. When a soul leaves the body, which is called death, we burn the body that the soul bees in that house or wherever the soul wants after death. It's there. Now, the soul through the subtle body, which is actually a replica, a photocopy of this physical body that I'm wearing, the subtle body can go till the subtle region. There are so many stories about this. There are so many experiences that people have had. People have had out of body experiences. Like, for example, we have the story of Sister Anita Murjani. She was in coma. She was in coma because of some illness. She was admitted in hospital. And during coma, she had some out of body experiences. And then she came out of coma. During this out of body experiences, she says that she met God. She had so many realizations. And it's on the basis of these realizations, she could heal herself. She had cancer since lot many years. She's got a history in medical history. The fastest recovery within a week coming out of coma, her tumors, which were throughout the body, they shrunk to more than 70%. Completely recovered. So when people would interview her, she shared so many beautiful stories. She was questioned, did you meet God? She says yes. But she says God is not physical, He is not biological, the way we have assumed about Him. He's such a beautiful energy. For the first time in my life, I thought there was someone who was unconditionally accepting me, who was unconditionally giving me so much of love. So, through this subtle body, we can go to the subtle world. Now, beyond the subtle world, there's this soul world. We're not this physical body, we're not this subtle body, but only the soul, the way I am, simply a point of light. I can go. Where there's absolute silence, where there's no stage, no roles, no makeup, nothing, the way I am, simply a point of light. That world has got red, golden light everywhere. That's my home, sweet home. And from there, we all come down on the stage. Souls, and that's the reason population of this world has been increasing, exploding, because entry is on. Souls have been coming on the stage, and there's no exit yet. We all exit together. This is the soul world. Now we'll be watching a small video on this, a very beautiful video, which will give us an experience of what this journey is, to which world we belong to, from where we have come, and where we'll be going back soon. Because the drama is about to end, of which signs and symptoms we are seeing. This drama is about to end, and we all will be having the return journey soon. So before that, let's practice. We'll see a small video now. Om Shanti. Now, before we finish today's session, let's one more time do this small exercise, which is going to the soul world. What we saw right now, let us practice that for a moment. And then we finish today's session. I see myself as a point of light at the center of the forehead. And today, I detach myself from this body and I go beyond this body, reaching till the ceiling, meet a point of light. Now floating away, I go beyond this Bombay city, and from above, I see below so many buildings, so many people, and the city besides the ocean. Now I raise myself beyond the city and I fly much higher and I reach on top of this globe, this earth. And now when I see below, I see this planet, I see this stage where I have lived for a long time. And leaving this stage today, I'm going to my sweet home to meet my father. Crossing sun, moon, and several stars, I go to Paramdham, the soul world. I reach there with this complete red golden light. It's a different world, which is so divine. And there's so much of silence. In front of me, now I see Shiv Baba. I go close to him. I can feel his vibrations. His peace filling me up. His love filling me up. And now from this whole world, I come back again. Crossing the stars, sun and moon, again towards the earth. I see myself on this planet again on this Bombay city, top of this body, to this body. With this experience of meeting Baba, I feel so much peace. I feel loved. I'm full. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Today's homework. Today's chapter was different. In this old world, this knowledge is new. There are so many things which are new, which are different, which are 360-degree different compared to what the whole world teaches. But we don't say believe in what we say. We'll simply say today, keep an open mind, and in case possible, analyze this knowledge, study this knowledge. And whatever your heart says, whatever you feel is right, whatever you feel is sensible, please take that only. Today, in case possible, sit down and reflect what did we learn today? Who is God? Who can be God? What's the difference between soul and the Supreme Soul? What's his name? How indirectly, every religion, we have done so much for him, but it's now that we know him. Now I feel so much connected to him. Where is our home? Oh, I never thought about that. This is something new. Do analyze this knowledge and please come up with any questions that you have. Today's homework, in case possible, I need to write this 50 times that I'm a peaceful soul. On a sheet of paper, take a piece of paper, write down, I am a peaceful soul. You can write peaceful, you can write whatever that you want. You can write maybe I'm a powerful soul, I'm a loveful soul, whatever you feel like 50 times. Let me take a piece of paper. In school, we used to do this, distinguish between soul and the body. For example, let me make two columns, soul. Soul is invisible, body is visible. Soul is forever, body is temporary. Whatever points that I can think of, let me do this homework today. Distinguish between soul and the body. And also distinguish between soul and the Supreme Soul. Let me see, what do I come up with? In case possible, meditate few times. I go to the soul world and I meet Baba. Tonight before I sleep, let me go to the soul world and wish Baba, Baba, good night. Tomorrow morning when I get up, let me again go to the soul world to meet Baba and let me wish him good morning. That's it for today. And we'll again meet tomorrow with the third chapter. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much, Sister Harsha, for clarifying who God is for all of us. There are a few questions that we've got. First one is, if I am a soul, then when someone says something which hurts me, does my soul feel the pain?
Body is non-living. Body has got no feelings. It's the soul which creates thoughts, and feelings are nothing but collection of thoughts. So it's the soul which feels the pain, which feels the sadness. But again, there's an option if I want to take this sadness or not. If I exercise this option, whether to take it or not, then there will be no pain.
Second question, a very nice analogy of the soul to river and God to ocean. But the river starts from mountains and glaciers and ends in the ocean. So how is a soul created? Because the ocean does not refill the river. How does God come into the picture?
It's an analogy, it's just an example. Even if it comes from the mountains, it comes in the form of rains, and rain again, it comes from the ocean. So it's all connected. It's just an example to kind of clarify. Then in this drama, God is the ocean, and we souls are like rivers. And it's in the end of this drama that God comes to refill us. Don't take it too much in that literal sense. It's only an example.
Thank you, Sister Harsha, for clarifying that. Third question is the understanding Shiv Baba and Shiv Paramatma the same? So are Shiv Baba and Shiv Paramatma the same?
Yes. And here Shiv Baba, with Shiv Baba, we do not mean Shankar. By Shiv Baba, we simply mean that point of light, Noor-e-Ilahi, that supreme energy. Today we have a name to that. We lovingly call him Shiv Baba, in whose remembrance we have created a physical thing, which is a Shivling. Now it's high time that we go beyond physical and try to connect to him at a subtle level. And now then we do not require a Shivling. We can connect to him directly the way he is.
Another question. No other religion tries to give a name to the being who is common Paramatma for all religions. That's not really a question today.
Yes. This knowledge is by Baba himself. It's in the end of the journey when Baba comes down and he shares, he talks about himself, he talks about us, he tries to explain us that you are a soul, you're not this body. The way you are a soul, I'm also a soul. So this knowledge is new, something which nobody ever taught us, no religion taught us. Because this knowledge is not by any human being, this knowledge is by him, the direct source. What the world teaches, God will not teach that. And what God will teach, the world will not teach that. So yes, this knowledge is different, which nobody taught us. This is new. Since this is new, this will take little bit of time. Give this some time, and with time, this will become comfortable.
Absolutely. Second last question. What is subtle world?
Subtle world, where the subtle body can go, those people who can, those people who are more pure souls, they can go over there. Who have got this ability, who has got this role, they can go over there. It's like that angelic world, and maybe in later chapters we'll know a lot more about that world. So that world is that like that transition phase. Through that world, we go to the subtle world, sorry, to the soul world.
We speak about Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh as three pillars. Are they gods?
No, no human being, no bodily being. The ones who have got a body, they are not God. They are deities. There's a difference between Paramatma and Devi Devtai. Devi Devtai were humans. Initially, when there was golden age, the souls that who took a body and they who stayed in the golden age, who were perfect, who were full, they were deities. There's a difference between deities and Paramatma, and more about deities we'll know in later chapters. Right now, it's only Shiv Baba that is more important.
Is Shiv Shankar and Shiva same?
Shiv means Shiv Baba, that supreme energy, point of light, and Shankar is that bodily deity. So it's again a deity. They are different.
What was the small video? Can you please explain? I think it was the video that you showed last, Harsha Ben, about soul traveling.
Yes, yes, yes. It was I the soul. I visualized this that I am detaching from this body, and I'm going to my home, sweet home. Crossing everything, I reach my home to meet my father, where we have come from and where we'll be going soon, because this drama is about to end. We'll be having a drama chapter, that video, which is the journey of the soul, because we'll be taking a return journey. So before that, if we can practice that, if we can understand that, if we can do that again and again, then that return journey will be more comfortable and more easy. If you want on Google, if you go to Google, this video is available there, which is Brahma Kumari, Journey of the Soul. You can see this video and try to understand this. It's only a return journey.
Meditating, did you mean we have to imagine that we go beyond the universe to meet Shiv Baba and to feel positive energy or supreme energy?
Yes. Right now, because this concept is new, I can do imagination. I can imagine that. I can visualize that. I can take these concepts, and today, in case possible, please go to Paramdham, the soul world, and talk to him. We never thought God would talk, but he talks a lot. So go to him, talk whatever you want to, and he'll talk back to you. Let's try at least.
Yes, that is so beautiful. We should also talk to God and listen to what He has to say to us.
Absolutely.
Last question for the day. Whenever I sit to meditate, I encounter a trillion thoughts at a time, like a railway platform where uncountable mouths are speaking. That too irrelevant information. So it makes it almost impossible for me to connect or even imagine the star like soul in the middle of the forehead and its travel towards home. All this amounts to waste of Amrit Vela. Please give me a different way, a better answer than the normal cliche answer.
I didn't get the question, sorry.
So basically, this person, this sister, she cannot meditate because there are a lot of thoughts going on in her head. So she cannot visualize the soul, the star soul in her forehead, and she cannot travel because there's just a lot of noise in her head. So, how should she overcome all that so she can do proper Amrit Vela and meditation?
Tomorrow, we'll be taking this chapter of meditation. Right now, we're only learning this theory and little bit of meditation. Like if we go for driving, we learn the theory first. We're learning theory. Okay, this is the soul. This is the supreme soul. And now tomorrow we'll learn how to connect. We'll learn some easy techniques that will bring me a lot of clarity. It's okay if you cannot visualize. It's okay if you cannot imagine. See, for meditation, there is no fixed way. There are a variety of ways I can try. I can try so many things, and then I need to chalk out what seems good to me. So we'll learn a lot more about meditation tomorrow.
Okay, that's it for the questions today. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sister
you.
Harsha. Thank you. And for everybody else, we'll just revise again through some of the apps and websites you can go to try and meditate. So, tomorrow is going to be the chapter on meditation techniques. So, Sister Harsha will take us through different kinds of ways that we can meditate. And these apps and websites will just help you bring that 1 minute of meditation in your everyday life so that you can just take frequent pauses in between throughout the day to just realign, refocus, and get back into yourself. So justaminute.org, as we discussed, it gives you different tools and techniques to bring 1 minute meditations throughout the day. So that's not even too much time, but it just helps you focus again. Then we have the B Zone app, which you can go to the App Store and find over there. So that also has different kinds of meditation techniques. And since it's through the app, you'll even find meditation commentaries, which you might find helpful, at least in the beginning. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for everyone, to everyone for staying till 6:30. And we hope we could answer all your doubts. If you have any more questions, we'll take them tomorrow. A big thank you to Sister Harsha. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.